Hello friends. Welcome to Blurred TV. Today we are going to present you the different and various information about vegetables. So let's start our video.
Vegetables are parts of plants that are consumed by humans or other animals as food. The original meaning is still commonly used and is applied to plants collectively to refer to all edible plant matter, including the flowers, fruits, stems, leaves, roots, and seeds. The alternate definition of the term is applied somewhat arbitrarily, often by culinary and cultural tradition. It may exclude foods derived from some plants that are fruits, flowers, nuts, and cereal grains, but include savory fruits such as tomatoes and courgettes, flowers such as broccoli, and seeds such as pulses. Originally, vegetables were collected from the wild by hunter-gatherers and entered cultivation in several parts of the world, probably during the period 10,000 BC to 7,000 BC, when a new agricultural way of life developed. At first, plants which grew locally would have been cultivated, but as time went on, trade brought exotic crops from elsewhere to add to domestic types. Nowadays, most vegetables are grown all over the world as climate permits, and crops may be cultivated in protected environments in less suitable locations. China is the largest producer of vegetables, and global trade in agricultural products allows consumers to purchase vegetables grown in faraway countries. The scale of production varies from subsistence farmers supplying the needs of their family for food, to agribusinesses with vast acreages of single-product crops. Depending on the type of vegetable concerned, harvesting the crop is followed by grading, storing, processing, and marketing. Vegetables can be eaten either raw or cooked and play an important role in human nutrition, being mostly low in fat and carbohydrates, but high in vitamins, minerals and dietary fiber. Many nutritionists encourage people to consume plenty of fruit and vegetables, 5 or more portions a day often being recommended. Etymology. The word vegetable was first recorded in English in the early 15th century. It comes from Old French, and was originally applied to all plants. The word is still used in this sense in biological contexts. It derives from medieval Latin vegetabilis, growing, flourishing, i.e. of a plant. A semantic change from a late Latin meaning, to be enlivening, quickening. The meaning of vegetable, as a plant grown for food, was not established until the 18th century. In 1767, the word was specifically used to mean a plant cultivated for food, an edible herb or root. The year 1955 saw the first use of the shortened, slang term, veggie. As an adjective, the word vegetable is used in scientific and technical contexts with a different and much broader meaning, namely of related to plants in general, edible or not, as in vegetable matter, vegetable kingdom, vegetable origin, etc. Terminology. The exact definition of vegetable may vary simply because of the many parts of a plant consumed as food worldwide: roots, stems, leaves, flowers, fruits, and seeds. The broadest definition is the word's use adjectively to mean matter of plant origin. More specifically, a vegetable may be defined as any plant, part of which is used for food, a secondary meaning then being the edible part of such a plant. A more precise definition is any plant part consumed for food that is not a fruit or seed, but including mature fruits that are eaten as part of a main meal. Falling outside these definitions are edible fungi, such as edible mushrooms, and edible seaweed which, although not parts of plants, are often treated as vegetables. In the latter mentioned definition of vegetable, which is used in everyday language, the words fruit and vegetable are mutually exclusive. Fruit has a precise botanical meaning, being a part that developed from the ovary of a flowering plant. This is considerably different from the word's culinary meaning. While peaches, plums, and oranges are fruit in both senses, many items commonly called vegetables, such as eggplants, bell peppers, and tomatoes, are botanically fruits. The question of whether the tomato is a fruit or a vegetable found its way into the United States Supreme Court in 1893. The court ruled unanimously in Nix v. Hedden that a tomato is correctly identified as, and thus taxed as, a vegetable, for the purposes of the tariff of 1883 on imported produce. The court did acknowledge, however, that, botanically speaking, a tomato is a fruit. History. Before the advent of agriculture, humans were hunter-gatherers. They foraged for edible fruit, nuts, stems, leaves, corms, and tubers, scavenged for dead animals and hunted living ones for food. Forest gardening in a tropical jungle clearing is thought to be the first example of agriculture. Useful plant species were identified and encouraged to grow while undesirable species were removed. Plant breeding through the selection of strains with desirable traits such as large fruit and vigorous growth soon followed. While the first evidence for the domestication of grasses such as wheat and barley has been found in the Fertile Crescent in the Middle East, it is likely that various peoples around the world started growing crops in the period 10,000 BC to 7,000 BC. Subsistence agriculture continues to this day, with many rural farmers in Africa, Asia, South America, and elsewhere using their plots of land to produce enough food for their families, while any surplus produce is used for exchange for other goods. Throughout recorded history, the rich have been able to afford a varied diet including meat, vegetables and fruit, but for poor people, meat was a luxury and the food they ate was very dull, typically comprising mainly some staple product made from rice, rye, barley, wheat, millet or maize. The addition of vegetable matter provided some variety to the diet. The staple diet of the Aztecs in Central America was maize, and they cultivated tomatoes, avocados, beans, peppers, pumpkins, squashes, peanuts, and amaranth seeds to supplement their tortillas and porridge. In Peru, the Incas subsisted on maize in the lowlands and potatoes at higher altitudes. They also used seeds from quinoa, supplementing their diet with peppers, tomatoes, and avocados. In ancient China, rice was the staple crop in the south and wheat in the north, the latter made into dumplings, noodles, and pancakes. Vegetables used to accompany these included yams, soybeans, broad beans, turnips, spring onions, and garlic. The diet of the ancient Egyptians was based on bread, often contaminated with sand which wore away their teeth. Meat was a luxury but fish was more plentiful. These were accompanied by a range of vegetables including marrows, broad beans, lentils, onions, leeks, garlic, radishes, and lettuces. The mainstay of the ancient Greek diet was bread, and this was accompanied by goat's cheese, olives, figs, fish, and occasionally meat. The vegetables grown included onions, garlic, cabbages, melons, and lentils. In ancient Rome, a thick porridge was made of emmer wheat or beans, accompanied by green vegetables but little meat. And fish was not esteemed. The Romans grew broad beans, peas, onions and turnips and ate the leaves of beets rather than their roots. Nutrition and health. Vegetables play an important role in human nutrition. Most are low in fat and calories but are bulky and filling. They supply dietary fiber and are important sources of essential vitamins, minerals, and trace elements. Particularly important are the antioxidant vitamins A, C, and E. When vegetables are included in the diet, there is found to be a reduction in the incidence of cancer, stroke, cardiovascular disease, and other chronic ailments. Research has shown that, compared with individuals who eat less than 3 servings of fruits and vegetables each day, those that eat more than 5 servings have an approximately 20% lower risk of developing coronary heart disease or stroke. The nutritional content of vegetables varies considerably. Some contain useful amounts of protein, though generally they contain little fat, and varying proportions of vitamins such as vitamin A, vitamin K, and vitamin B6, provitamins, dietary minerals, and carbohydrates. However, vegetables often also contain toxins and antinutrients which interfere with the absorption of nutrients. These include alpha-solanine, alpha-chaconine, enzyme inhibitors of cholinesterase, protease, amylase, etc., cyanide and cyanide precursors, oxalic acid, tannins and others. Citation needed. These toxins are natural defenses used to ward off the insects, predators and fungi that might attack the plant. Some beans contain phytohemagglutinin, and cassava roots contain cyanogenic glycoside as do bamboo shoots. These toxins can be deactivated by adequate cooking. Green potatoes contain glycoalkaloids and should be avoided. Fruit and vegetables, particularly leafy vegetables, have been implicated in nearly half the gastrointestinal infections caused by norovirus in the United States. These foods are commonly eaten raw and may become contaminated during their preparation by an infected food handler. Hygiene is important when handling foods to be eaten raw, and such products need to be properly cleaned, handled, and stored to limit contamination. Recommendations. The USDA Dietary Guidelines for Americans recommends consuming 5 to 9 servings of fruit and vegetables daily. The total amount consumed will vary according to age and gender, and is determined based upon the standard portion sizes typically consumed, as well as general nutritional content. Potatoes are not included in the count as they are mainly providers of starch. For most vegetables and vegetable juices, 1 serving is half of a cup and can be eaten raw or cooked. For leafy greens, such as lettuce and spinach, a single serving is typically a full cup. A variety of products should be chosen as no single fruit or vegetable provides all the nutrients needed for health. International dietary guidelines are similar to the ones established by the USDA. Japan, for example, recommends the consumption of 5 to 6 servings of vegetables daily. French recommendations provide similar guidelines and set the daily goal at 5 servings. In India, the daily recommendation for adults is 275 grams (9.7 ounces) of vegetables per day. Production. Vegetables have been part of the human diet from time immemorial. Some are staple foods but most are accessory foodstuffs, adding variety to meals with their unique flavors and at the same time, adding nutrients necessary for health. Some vegetables are perennials but most are annuals and biennials, usually harvested within a year of sowing or planting. Whatever system is used for growing crops. Cultivation follows a similar pattern: preparation of the soil by loosening it, removing or burying weeds, and adding organic manures or fertilizers, sowing seeds or planting young plants. Tending the crop while it grows to reduce weed competition, control pests, and provide sufficient water, harvesting the crop when it is ready, sorting, storing, and marketing the crop or eating it fresh from the ground. Different soil types suit different crops, but in general in temperate climates. Sandy soils dry out fast but warm up quickly in the spring and are suitable for early crops, while heavy clays retain moisture better and are more suitable for late-season crops. The growing season can be lengthened by the use of fleece, cloche, plastic mulch, polytunnels, and greenhouses. In hotter regions, the production of vegetables is constrained by the climate, especially the pattern of rainfall, while in temperate zones, it is constrained by the temperature and day length. Weeding cabbages in Colorado, U.S. On a domestic scale, the spade, fork, and hoe are the tools of choice, while on commercial farms a range of mechanical equipment is available. Besides tractors, these include plows, harrows, drills, transplanters, cultivators, irrigation equipment, and harvesters. New techniques are changing the cultivation procedures involved in growing vegetables with computer monitoring systems, GPS locators, and self-steer programs for driverless machines, giving economic benefits. Harvesting. When a vegetable is harvested, it is cut off from its source of water and nourishment. it continues to transpire and loses moisture as it does so, a process most noticeable in the wilting of green leafy crops. Harvesting root vegetables when they are fully mature improves their storage life, but alternatively, these root crops can be left in the ground and harvested over an extended period. The harvesting process should seek to minimize damage and bruising to the crop. Onions and garlic can be dried for a few days in the field, and root crops such as potatoes benefit from a short maturation period in warm, moist surroundings, during which time wounds heal and the skin thickens up and hardens. Before marketing or storage, grading needs to be done to remove damaged goods and select produce according to its quality, size, ripeness, and color.
If you like our video, so please press the like button and comment below. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to get the latest update of our videos.